Hello and welcome to my channel. If you are new here, hello, my name is Emma and this is the Mummy Diaries. So I have been on YouTube before. I imagine a lot of you be quite new. I was on YouTube 2 years ago now, and when I was doing YouTube back then, it was a lot of try-ons, get ready with me, clothing hauls, really different than what my channel is kind of going towards now. So I am now a mum. 2 years down the line, I am now a new mum, first time mum to my baby boy Jax, who is now 1 year old. Well, he's 14 months. And I thought now is a good time to come back onto YouTube. I'm also still learning again where to look on the camera, so I'm sorry if I'm not looking in the right place. I'm just looking thinking, I don't even know if I'm looking in the right place, so apologies. I'm doing this on my phone, so I'm hoping it's going to be good quality. But yes, I'm coming back at you as a first time mum, and I thought, what better way to come back on YouTube, because I've been wanting to come back on YouTube. That is definitely apparent. Like, I have missed coming onto YouTube, but I had to take some time away from YouTube for a wee while, and then I feel like I'm ready to come back now, and we're ready to get going, and we're doing the Mummy Diaries. So this is going to be a bit of a series where there's going to be different episodes. I'm not sure how many, just kind of to the point where I think can't do any more, and then obviously YouTube will kind of continue from there. But for the beginning, I thought I could do the Mummy Diaries, which would be quite nice with myself, and talk about different subjects and different topics to do with pre-pregnancy and post-pregnancy, postpartum. So there's going to be a little bit of everything. It's all going to be very positive here. It's all going to be very light, and yeah, I hope you enjoy. If you do, feel free to subscribe, or if you watch the end of this video, thank you very much. And you maybe want to hear more, then feel free to please subscribe to my channel and maybe give the video a slight like. But I'd love to start forming this kind of YouTube group, kind of the mums to be, aunties, all that kind of jazz. Anybody who would, you know, like that little bit extra advice and help, then I'm here for you, absolutely, because I certainly didn't know half the stuff before I felt pregnant, or before I was pregnant, or even before Jax was born. So a lot of this I've learned as I go. So this first video is going to be 10 things I wish I knew before having a baby. So you might see me looking down. I have just got my wee book of notes, so I might just look down just to keep myself on track, because I would have a habit of otherwise just rambling on, which I'm probably doing already, so apologies. But yes, we're going to do 10 things I wish I knew before having a baby, and I'm hoping you'll find this just as helpful as I would have back then, to be honest. I didn't know half the stuff. I learned it all as I went along. I thought, you know, maybe if this helps one person out there who's having a baby, or has had a baby, and you're at your early stages of maternity, then that's a win for me, to be honest. So that would be amazing. So let's get into it. So number one, buy newborn clothes. So a lot of people, when I was pregnant, I said, don't bother buying newborn clothes. A lot of the clothes we got that were gifted, which was so kind, was 0 to 3 months. So we thought, oh, okay, we won't need this, because a lot of people would say your newborn phase is a couple of weeks and they're out of it so quickly before you even blink. So not to bother. However, as our pregnancy developed, we realised we are not going to have a 10-pound baby. It's not going to be a very big baby. Actually, Jax was early, so Jax was 5 weeks early. He's 5 weeks premature. He is developing amazingly, and he is soaring, and he did so well after being born. Like, you obviously have those worries with a premature baby, and it might be one of the videos I'll do going forward, but certainly for ourselves and our experience, we were very lucky. But we were also very lucky that we bought newborn clothes. Well, actually, we need premature, so we need preemie clothes, which we didn't even realise existed either, to be honest. We thought you got newborn and then you went into 0 and 3. We didn't even realise there was an age before newborn, like there was the preemie size. So we actually preemie, newborn, and then into 0 and 3. So yeah, one thing I will say is listen to yourself, like your body, and obviously as you're going through your scans, you'll get a sense of, you'll get told, you know, kind of what percentile your baby's measuring at, and that will give you a rough kind of guide, a rough estimate of kind of what your baby's gonna kind of be weighing, measuring when they're born. So that will give you an idea for clothing going forward. But yes, it was a learning curve for us. But then to be fair, if Jax wasn't premature, we would have still needed newborn. 100% would have needed newborn, because by the time it came his due date, he was in newborn clothes. So we would have definitely needed. So I would say not everyone will. Absolutely not. I've got quite a few friends who've had wee ones that have been, you know, measuring at 9-10 pounds, and they went straight into 0 to 3. Absolutely. But I would definitely have a few outfits just in case. It just gives you that peace of mind that you're not going home and you have to go straight to the shops. Just as a thought. Number 2 is zippies and footies. Yes, zippies and footies. I mean, I'm saying zippies. Zippies are expensive. Zippies are very, very expensive. But what I will say is, oh, they're amazing. If you can get this, now I know everyone loves to put children in the two pieces, and don't get me wrong, kids look so cute in little two pieces, gorgeous two pieces. We got a few two pieces gifted, and they looked beautiful on Jax. Beautiful, you know, he looks so grown up. But we spent a lot of his preemie, newborn, you know, like that first 4 months, 3 months, at least 2-3 months in little onesies. And if they've got the boots attached, brilliant. I would say in your mind, before you have a wee one and you see all these outfits on the shelves and you think, oh my god, they look so cute in that. Yes, they do, absolutely gorgeous. But the actual realization of having them in that all day, it's just not realistic. It's really not. You are going to spend a lot of time at home on the sofa cuddling, you know, relaxing, sleeping, napping, especially when your baby nap. We'll get onto that later. But for sure, these little like onesie suits with booties, and whether it's buttons or zips are really easy for like night times. So if you can save your zips on, like, you get suits with zips, and if you can save them for your nighttime feeds, so much easier. Because when you come to changing your baby, zipping it on and zipping it off, it's so much easier when you're not half asleep 3 a.m. and you're trying to put poppers together. Absolutely. So I'd use the poppers through the day and then zippies at night, but definitely onesies, like these little suits, because your child just wants to be comfy all day, and the last thing you want to try and get him in out of is like jumpers and things. 100%. It is so much easier for a newborn to be in suits. But you will have your own preference, don't get me wrong, absolutely your own preference. And I think we saved a lot of his outfits when we were going out and about. But then after a couple of weeks, we just stuck to going out in these wee, like, in these, you know, like in these onesies. They would just look so much comfier, so much comfier. But that's what I would definitely invest in, is the suits with the zips. I would definitely invest in a few packs of them. They are more expensive than the ones with the buttons, like with the poppers. But for night times, so much easier. So we used to leave the zips for night time and then have the poppers through the day. So that was my kind of like advice there for you, if you find that helpful. Number 3, track naps and wake windows. So I didn't know what this was before having Jax, to be honest. I really thought when it came to baby and napping, they'll nap when they want to nap, they'll be awake when they want to wake. Eat, sleep and nap. Eat, what? Poop, eat, poop, sleep. Yeah. So the toilet, they're eating and they're sleeping. That's kind of all they do really when they're so wee, to be honest. But I didn't know about tracking his naps and his wake windows, and very quickly we realised, oh, okay, he's awake for this period and then he goes back down, and he's awake again for this period, then he goes back down. And definitely by the time he was 3 months, we had gathered a bit of a routine. So when we did a bit of research on it, we were like, oh, this is actually a thing. So I think if you go into like sleep training with someone, we never had to, thank goodness. We've been very, very lucky with Jax's naps. Don't get me wrong, I would only say about the last 2 months, he started to, I'd say since he turned 1, he has started to sleep a lot, like through the night quite regularly. We have the odd 1 or 2 nights, depending if he's a bit more granny, if he's maybe not feeling 100%, you know, we'll get a wake up in the night. But I would say he sleeps through the night now, and then his wake windows through the day. So we went through a period before he started nursery, so he is now at nursery. I'm now back at work. I was very fortunate to have a year off with him, which is I know myself, very, very fortunate. Not a lot of people get that, and I'm so grateful for that. But I'm now back at full-time work, and little man is in nursery, and I would say before starting nursery, we were getting him into like a 1 nap routine. He'd get up in the morning, he would last until about midday, he'd have about 2-3 hour naps, and then he would go 2-3 hour nap, and then that would be him till night, and he'd go down at night, and that would be him all night. So he started nursery, and I would say he's kind of gone backwards a little bit with his sleeps. So we've noticed his windows and things have changed again, and he's now kind of going into maybe 2 naps. Sometimes he only naps the 1, but he has the 2 naps again. But again, we're slowly starting to see that change again. So I just think it depends what's going on with him at the time. So obviously starting nursery was quite a big change for him, and I think to adapt to that, and the more, obviously he's getting a little bit more stimulation through the day, so he's constantly like, there's loads of things going on that he's just constant. So I think initially when he started nursery, his self, he just needed a little bit more time to go and have a nap and sleep for like that 2 times. Whereas they're starting to see him now, they were just saying the other day, we're starting to see him going into that 1 sleep pattern. But his sleep window is still that little bit sticky for nights. I don't know if any of you who have got about a 14-month-old, if you are finding that your sleep window, depending if he goes down in the afternoon, so right now we're finding now he's going down for that 1 sleep in the afternoon, but if he only has about an hour and a half max, which he is having at the moment, we're finding he could potentially still go down for something around about, so his naps are taking him till about 1ish. So we're thinking by about 4 or 5, he could really do with another wee nap, but we're stretching him, which then obviously then putting him down about 6, 7. Well, we don't actually get to 7, to be honest. It's normally around about the 6 o'clock mark. We get him down because that's him stretched for the afternoon. So we're normally finding his wake window is around about 4 hours. So you'll all kind of gather this as you go on, but I definitely do think having a read up on wake windows is really interesting, especially for those who are maybe watching this and have a really newborn, kind of as you're watching your naps go. And another little thing actually, just while we talk about sleeps, just as a bit of advice, which I didn't know about either to begin with, is your baby when napping, they have like still sleeps and they have like movement sleeps. So in the movement sleeps, when our wee one, when Jax was kind of moving around quite a lot, we always thought that was him like frustrated, and he was starting to groan, he was starting to get up. But actually your baby moves 50% of his sleep, which I didn't know early on, and I'm now very aware of, especially if you're watching him through the night and he's gurning. He'll sometimes give a bit and then he'll move, and then that's him, he'll go back to sleep again. But when I watch him in his naps now at home, which he's doing right now, and he's moved a couple of times already in his nap, but it's just that movement sleep, that's all it is. So don't feel like if you see your baby moving in their sleep, you have to initially go down quick and pick them up. Leave them and see what happens, because you might be surprised that they might even have another hour. So that's just another wee tip for you about their sleeping as well, if you're just not 100% sure on that. Babies cry, and that is okay. So this is tip number 4. So yes, I used to get not really anxious, but I used to be a little bit more aware when out at shops and things, when Jax used to cry. I mean, I myself, when I didn't have a wee one and other wee ones were crying, I knew myself not to look. Like, you just don't look. You don't need to look. There's no need to look, no need to stare. But I am very aware that when you're out and about now and your wee one is crying, you get the odd look from someone, just, oh, you're gonna make sure they're okay kind of thing. Sometimes your babies just gurn. Babies just cry. Babies are just, that's just the way it is. Jack's now 14 months and he'll still have a gurn, he'll still have a wee cry, and that's okay. That is okay. That is just the way they communicate as well. But they're not always trying to tell you something. They're just gurning, that's all. They're just having a wee cry, and it is really okay. And if you see anybody looking at you, ignore them. Absolutely. I have gotten picked up quite a bit of that. Well, that's probably like another wee tip on this tip, is growing a thick skin. When you become a mum, you grow a thick skin, absolutely, because you'll have a lot of people that'll be coming up to you throughout your pregnancy being like, oh, don't do this, don't do that, you know, don't have people come into your house straight away, don't do this, have like this time together, blah blah blah. But do what is comfortable for you. Like, don't listen to anybody else but yourself. You'll know yourself, you know, what you are feeling most comfortable at, well, most comfortable doing at the beginning of being a new parent. So just listen to yourself, listen to yourself and how you feel like you want to go forward, because the only person that is right is you, and it's your baby, and you'll know what is best to do going forward. So I do think, you know, as well as I'm saying babies cry and that's okay, and it is really okay, just ignore it. You really will grow a thick skin through becoming a new mum. And I'm sure if there's anybody out there watching this that's got 2 or 3 children, you by now have grown a very, very thick skin to the world of being a mum, with criticism and all that online or anything like that. I don't personally share Jack's online. I don't know what it is. I never was like that before having Jack's. You know, I would be the person putting up stories on Instagram and the odd post on Instagram. I mean, I wasn't crazy. I wasn't like daily posting kind of thing. But I have not shared anything about Jax apart from his birth, you know, like the fact he's been born, a couple of newborn pictures. But by the time I shared his birth, he was already a few months old, so he'd already changed quite a bit. But any photos I now put online, I cover his face. I don't share his face on social media. And again, a lot of you might be the same with their clothing. So a lot of people like to personalise their clothing, which is beautiful. And I've got a couple of items that I've had gifted, which are stunning, and they've got Jax written on it. But for like ourselves, when we got like his nursery bag, for example, we just put JM. You know, we just put his initials, because I don't like the idea of a stranger potentially seeing his name on something and then having, you know, feeling like they have the right to speak to them, because they, and then Jax right now wouldn't have, and I, you know, we're with him all the time because he's obviously not at that stage where he is aware of maybe other people kind of saying his name yet. But what you know, when he does become fully aware of that, I don't want people to be like, "Oh, hi, Jax," and him be like, "Well, I must know you because you know my name," kind of thing. So that's another tip I would give. This is turning out to be more than probably 10 things, just as I'm yapping away actually, but that is probably another wee tip I would give, is just be very mindful of, you know, what you're sharing, and how much you're sharing information, maybe like what I'm saying about the name and things. So everyone will do what is most comfortable for them, and that's completely up to you. Just from my experience and from my personal choice, we decided not to do that. But that's, you know, that is completely up to you, and it's, you know, it is just a little bit of advice going forward. But again, you'll do what is best for you, what you think is right. I say number 5, but we're probably number 10 by now. So number 5, everything is just a phase. You know, most things with newborns is only for a day. So you'll maybe be having a really tough day, because you do. Let's be honest, it's not roses and sunflowers every day having a newborn. It is amazing, it is a blessing, and oh my goodness, it's something in life that it's magical. It's absolutely, I'm trying to find the best way to describe it, like to you know, to do justice, but it is just magical becoming a parent. And it comes with its difficulties as well. It does. It comes with harder days, because you're a bit more sleep deprived some days. Some days you're maybe more hungry than other days. You know, there's always reasons, and your wee one, you know, have their days as well when they're a little bit more gurney or a little bit more hungry, or they're maybe not sleeping as much. So, you know, it has a knock-on effect. but it really does, everything is just a phase. You know, they say that with their sleep progressions, they only come in phases, they don't come all the time. So you will find that when you have a sticky day, then you'll have a really good day, 100%. Not, or even like in your day, you know, you might have a really tough hour, but then you have an amazing few hours. So just always remember that it is, you know, everything is just a phase, and most of the time it lasts only a day, if that sometimes. So that's just a little bit of advice for you. Sore tummy after birth. So this is something I wasn't aware of before having Jax, and I had a C-section, so I did have a C-section with him. But regardless if you have a C-section or if you have a natural, well, actually, natural birth is not the way to kind of put it, so more of a like a vaginal birth. But I will say that regardless which kind of way your baby is born into this world, because either way is beautiful and magical, you get quite sore tummies afterwards. So I experienced this after having Jax, and it lasted a couple of weeks, but the tummy pains were real. It was like cramping. It wasn't period or anything like that related, because I hadn't had that yet. But certainly, you know, I think it's because obviously when you're growing your baby, your muscles stretch. So I think with everything kind of going back into place, it was like spasming and things. So that's just something else to be quite mindful of. And a wee bit of advice, if you're yet to have your baby and you're watching this, you might experience some cramping and things, so you'll get paracetamol and things, I imagine, home with you. I think that's quite a generic type thing when you've had a baby. You get some paracetamol and things for any discomfort afterwards, and take it. It really will help. And water bottles, but obviously being careful on the heat, so not directly onto your skin, depending if you've had a C-section or not, but a little bit of heat as well will be quite comforting to that, and it will last a couple of weeks. Just while everything's going back into place, really, because your body is adapting again to going back after stretching from growing your baby. Another tip, so I think I'm on number 7, potentially 8. I could be on number 15 by now, so apologies. I just seem to be like going on to like little things, rambling, which I knew I would do. I think I'm 20 minutes in this video, and it probably shouldn't be this long at all. And I'm not really sure what number I'm on now at the moment, to be honest, but hair and nails. So one thing I would recommend is that you start a treatment, either I say before having a baby, because I didn't, and I found after having Jack, so when you're pregnant, because your hormones, your nails and hair, wow, grow rapidly. So my hair was so thick, it was so long, it was the best condition my hair has ever been in with having Jack's, best ever. And then your nails, wow, I always book in once a month. So at the end of every month, I get my nails done, and they're looking so much better now. If you'd seen them a couple of weeks ago, they looked horrid. I kind of left my appointment quite a bit longer than I shouldn't have. So I am now into like the autumn nails. I'm sure you mums and mums to be and things out there are kind of getting into your autumn feels. But yes, I definitely wish I knew how bad. So people, even my hairdresser, my nail tech did warn me that my growth might not be as bad when having babies. So your nails is not too bad, but they broke a lot more after having Jax, I must admit. So that is just a wee heads up with your nails, but you can obviously start like a cuticle kind of treatment, and that just kind of helps nurture your nails a bit more, to help them. It's really, really, really important to nurture your hair and your nails. Actually, anything. So vitamins as well. I think I'll do a separate. I'm not going to ramble on about my vitamins and things, because that could be a separate video. To be fair, it's kind of like vitamins and foods and things like that I do now, postpartum, like after having Jax, because that has been really important to me going forward. Actually, my vitamins and my food has been a massive part of my healing after having Jax, to be honest. So I think I'll do a wee video on that, and hopefully that's going to be something you'll find quite interesting. But yeah, so hair and nails, definitely start like mask treatments, oils, and looking up really good shampoo and conditioner. I use at the moment for my hair burst, so I could link them down below. I'm sure you all out there will be very familiar with the company, and I found them to be really good. I did buy, now I'm trying to think, I've had Matrix. I didn't really feel like that helped my hair a lot, although it is a wonderful brand. I think it does depend on your hair. Olaplex, that was the other one. I tried Olaplex because I'd heard they were amazing. So if anybody else has any recommendations on really good hair and skin, skin as well actually, but hair and nail products, then please put it below. I have started Skin Me for my skin, and it is, it's wonderful, absolutely wonderful. I used a code which I could probably get and put below. It's not personally my code. If you put Skin in Me on, I'm sure you'd find a code out there. But I have tried now Skin in Me, and I do recommend it. I've been doing it now for 6 months, and it's a really good product. I would say the bags are they're just always there. Regardless how much cream you pop on to have with those little bags under your eyes, they're always there. I think it's just a mum thing going forward. You just come to the realization that you have bags under your eyes, and that is okay. That concealer, I maybe could have done a bit of concealer, but what I will say actually going forward, which I could put as in another point to be honest, is makeup and body and skin, all of that. That actually could be a separate video, is hair, body, skin, nails, food, vitamins. I probably will do, maybe my next video could be on that, a little bit of advice on kind of what I use, how things have changed since falling pregnant and having Jacks, and kind of advice on going forward with that for you mums out there that are maybe not sure, or you maybe don't have a routine as such and maybe looking for a routine. Could be something. You let me know in the comments actually if you're watching this and you'd be like, actually that would be amazing. And yeah, so hair burst is what I'm using at the moment, and a nail nails. My nails, I'm just cuticle oil and making sure I'm keeping them hydrated just for now. But I think I'll do a separate video on that because I could ramble on for ages, and I do not want this video to be longer than half an hour, hopefully. Yes, I think I'm on number 10 now. But apologies if I've rambled so much that I'm not even sure where I am now. But that's my last point. So you'll go through what I call an identity crisis. You will. Every mum goes through it, and I think you become so consumed in motherhood, and it's beautiful, and I love my consumption of like being in that motherhood bubble, absolutely. But sometimes you hear of people who are doing certain things, they're at work and blah blah, and you think, oh, maybe I should start getting back into certain routines. And I must admit, I stayed in my bubble for a year. I very much didn't really go back to anything from pre-birth. The gym, working out, my work, all that kind of jazz. The only thing I stuck to was my nails, like going to a nail appointment. That was the only thing I kept going. That was my thing each month to do. That was for me. But now I'm back to work, I must admit, getting into that new routine, Jack's being in nursery, and I can also do, I think, another video really on that, like how you going into motherhood changes things a lot about your lifestyle, because being a mum is a full-time job. It's not a side hustle, and I just mean that it is your everything. It really, like, this bundle of wonder is your everything, and Jax is my everything, and regardless what's going on, I will drop everything for him, and that includes my work, and that he comes first regardless, and that's how it will always be. But you do also, with becoming a mother, need to find your identity again, and you'll know what I mean right now you're maybe either a couple of months postpartum, or you're in your pregnancy and you're not at all sure what I'm meaning, or maybe you've had friends speaking to you a little bit about it or giving you a heads up about it, but you will, a little down the line after having baby postpartum, you will realise, oh, what do I enjoy doing? Like, or maybe I need to start getting back into things that make me me as well, because you're not only a mum, you are yourself. Yeah. So your mum is your full-time job, but you also need to find the little things, whether that's going to the gym or going to get your hair done. Mine is my nails. I go get my nails done every month, and that's kind of my, you know, it's something for me. But also if you're a runner, if you do a sport, if you, it is as little as going back to work and being you at your work, being your role, you know, getting into that role. So you're not doing the mum role, you're doing that role. So, you know, there's that as well. So that's just a little bit of advice as well, that please do remember to keep up the little things a little bit down the line. You're not going to want to start getting into these things straight away after postpartum. I'm a year later. Obviously, I'm just now getting back into work. I did do my nails monthly, so that was kind of like my thing to me. But, you know, I'm just getting back into exercise, and I say slowly, but a lot of people get back into these things 3 months postpartum. Some people go back after a month, and it really is up to you and when you feel ready. But when you do think, I am ready to start getting back into the things that I enjoyed postpartum, like pre-birth, should I say, pre-pregnancy, then do it, absolutely, but do it in moderation and do it slowly. Build yourself up, because that's been me. I've enjoyed my baby bubble, my mother bubble, and I'm now back to work. Go get my nails done monthly. I'm getting back into exercise slowly. I mean, once, twice a week. And sometimes even that's questionable, so I do need to start working a little bit harder on, a bit more effort on that. But you will find the things that you used to love, and you'll start getting back into them, and you'll find that you love now this whole bubble of motherhood and youhood. I don't even know if that's a thing, but you know, you're blending the both together, and it's filling you. You know, they use the term, your cup is full. And some people sometimes will say after you've had a baby, your cup is sometimes only half full, because you're just doing the motherhood side. Whereas once you start bringing back in the little things that you also enjoy yourself, your cup is full. You've got a full cup. So I'll leave it on that note because I could probably ramble on for another hour, absolutely, but no problem at all. If you made it to the end of this video, thank you so much. Like, thank you very, very much for staying and listening. I should have said at the beginning of the video, I hope you've got a wee cuppa. It's a wee bit of a sit down video, but I'll maybe put that in the description, so if anyone reads it beforehand, they'll know to go get the biscuits, go get the popcorn, and grab yourself a cuppa and enjoy this. I hope that you enjoy this and find this useful. If there's anything you want elaboration on or any help with any of the content in this video today, please just pop it in the comments below. That would be amazing. Feel free to subscribe if you think actually going forward these might be really helpful, and you might enjoy watching these. They're not always going to be sit down videos. I do think the advice and the mummy part of it, like the diaries in terms of the chapters, might be quite sit downy, but I do intend on doing things like clothing hauls for, you know, the mum bod that you have after having baby, because it's never the same. We all know this now. It is never the same again. Some of us are, you know, can be very lucky to whip back in to your size 8 jeans. But some of us, we don't have the same bodies since having our wee ones, and that is fine. That is the beauty of having your wee one. Yeah, we maybe do these kind of videos. We'll maybe do a bit of a nighttime routine, morning routine, skincare routine, just these things that, you know, help me as a mum going forward. But yes, please feel free to put anything in the comments, or anything you liked, or anything that you heard that I was maybe going to talk about going forward, hair, skin, nails, all this kind of advice going forward. Maybe you would like a video on that, you could let me know below. But I will leave it here. Thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to the videos to come. Bye for now. Bye.